Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, They Cloned Tyrone. I'm kind of interested in this. At first I was like, I don't know. Then it blew up on either one of the social media channels. Not blew up, but they said this is like one of Netflix's recent gems. So I'm excited. John Boyega is in it, you know, from the Star Wars third trilogy or whatever it is. Jamie Foxx is in it. And Kiefer Sutherland. Oh, and David Allen Grier. I mean, come on, how could it go bad? It's about a series of events that happen to a trio of people, a trio, unlikely trio, and nefarious government conspiracy and a pulp mystery caper. I don't know. It's very, you know, you don't get a lot. And again, you can't watch Netflix because you got to start the movie. 6.7 on IMDb, 10,518 people rated it so far. So it did come out last week. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I'm watching it this week. So let's see. I'm excited. So stick around. I'll tell you what I think. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of They Cloned Tyrone. Not sure who Tyrone was, but Teyonah Parris, I want to say her name. So it's really John Boyega and Jamie Foxx, and then Teyonah Parris. So they're the trio that we talked about in the beginning. Excuse me. That get caught up in this. And I can't go into too much detail because I think a lot of it's the fun of finding out really what's going down. But John Boyega plays a drug dealer. Jamie Foxx plays a pimp, and Teyonah Parris plays a lady of the night, if you will, who, you know, kind of works for Jamie Foxx. But basically, trying to not spoil anything, but the three of them kind of figure out there's something going on in their town that seems to be like a conspiracy. And so they're running around trying to investigate it. Now, a lot leads up to that. You know, the regular life in town, you know, with drug dealers and pimps and stuff like that, of course, goes down. You know, wars against gangs is all happening in the background. But essentially that's something happens to trigger them to start thinking and looking around. And so it evolves from there. And I again won't go into any detail because if you haven't seen it, I want you to see it and, you know, enjoy or like or whatever the way I kind of watched the movie. You know, it should be fresh for you as well because I think that's part of the allure of it. But okay, so all this is going on, and I will throw this out there. And it kind of alludes to it, but, you know, I saw mind bending or something like that, but, sorry, excuse me. There is one thing that goes a little bit, it's not, I don't want to say, it goes quickly into a little bit behind the curtain sooner than I thought it should have, you know, but, you know, that's just me, and I think it takes it to a different level when that happens. So what you're stuck with in the beginning is really, you know, kind of their life in that town and everything that's going on and some intrigue. And then that intrigue leads to, you know, opening up Pandora's box, if you will. I don't know, but a peek behind the curtain, which I don't, it's not supernatural. I had another term for it, but it's like almost Stranger Things-ish. That level, but it gives you that glimpse early. I think, earlier than I thought. And so from that point on, I started to not like the film as much. For whatever reason, it seemed a little ridiculous and unrealistic in a sense. But as you continue to watch it and you stay with it, like I said, it bored me. It was a little long for that piece of it. When it started, like, I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And then at the end, you're kind of like, just, I wish it would just be over. Right, in my thoughts, but then it gets into the final, I guess the third, whatever, I forget now. Not the, I was going to say the third trimester, but you know what I mean. The third scene of the, you know, movies are broken up in the first, second, and third something, and I can't think of it. But anyway, it gets into that, to the final piece, you know, where we're edging towards a conclusion and figuring out what's really going on. And when they do that, it kind of makes it a lot better to understand that. You just have to. Oh man, whatever. You have to make it through the second to get to the third, and I think it makes a little bit more. And I think, you know, there's, and I don't even want to say what I want to say, But it. One thing I will say, it is pretty interesting on how what they do in this movie related to what's going on in the world right now, all the craziness that's going on in the world. Found that interesting, and then to see where they were going with this whole plot line and what's driving everything, really made it a lot better for me when I watched the movie and to understand it all. So, I did have some questions. It was like, throughout the movie, you think, what? How is that happening? But it all kind of fits together. You have to think about it a little bit more after you watch it, but it's not hard to follow in any means. It's just like, that doesn't seem realistic, and then it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. So, I know I'm babbling, and I'm really, on the surface on this, but I have to be, because if you haven't seen it, I want you to enjoy it for what it was. It was in the end good, but like I said, there's that middle part that just, I don't know. But anyway, so that's what I got for you. Worth a watch. A little bit longer. You got to invest some time. It's on Netflix. And that's it. I liked John Boyega. I liked Jamie Foxx. And I thought the three of them, they worked well together. I'll say that as well. I thought there was some, some back and forth between all of them that made it enjoy. I don't know where David Alan Grier was, though. I don't know if I missed him or what, but it also seemed dark, tint-wise. And I hope it's not my projector, but it just seemed darker for a reason. The other piece of it is like the old-fashioned, like they're in today's world, I think, or maybe early 2000s, but it seems like they're in the 70s. So I thought that was neat aspect to it. So check that out, keep an eye open for that. And that's all. That's really it this time. Hopefully I was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.